Hello, Elaine. Thank you so much for taking time to speak with me today. I know that November is a very busy month for you.
Yes.
Now, you have some information to share with me about programs for veterans. Can you tell me about that?
Sure. There is a program called Aid in Attendance, and that's a benefit that a lot of veterans and surviving spouses don't even know they're entitled to. So when they have the need for long-term care, assisted living, homebound care, residential care, any health certified state service, there are benefits that can help them offset those costs.
Okay, now what is the difference between military pay, military retirement pay, and VA pension?
Well, these benefits are different. These are specific to helping people offset the cost of long-term care. Their other benefits are multiple benefits that they are entitled to. And so we partner with the local DAV, the Disabled American Veterans, to help veterans go down and apply for all the benefits that they're entitled to. So we encourage people to go to the DAV, which is located next to the Senior Citizen Center on Walnut, and they can go down there and find out all the benefits that they're entitled to as veterans and surviving spouses.
Okay, so now that you touched on that, who qualifies for VA pension?
Well, the guide that we're talking about today, or the program we're talking about today, is called Aid in Attendance. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people don't realize that 1/3 of Americans are over 65 were wartime veterans, or they're widows of wartime veterans, and they're entitled to a benefit that is called Aid in Attendance. And we have a guide that we have put together at Golden Oaks to help offset those, or to help educate people on what those benefits are and how to file for them. And they help them with services that, not just at Golden Oaks, but at all our sister facilities across this community. It helps at the Commons, it helps at Greenbrier, it helps if they're at home, homebound. It also helps in other services. So this is a service that can benefit everybody. We just want more people to know they're entitled to apply for it.
That's great. Now, who is eligible for VA pension?
Well, there are different qualifications for this benefit. So one of the things that they're entitled, or the qualifiers, is that they have to have served 90 days in active duty service and 1 day during an active duty war. So they don't have to have actually served in combat, but they do have to have served in wartime, 1 day, just 1 day. And so that covers World War II, it covers Korea, it covers Vietnam, and also covers even our modern day warriors, our war on terrorism today. We probably have many disabled veterans that need help at home that could qualify for homebound assistance. So depend upon their medical condition and services that are needed. I would encourage everybody that to go down and find out if they're eligible for this benefit.
Now, who qualifies for VA aid and attendance?
Any surviving spouse or veteran or couple, a VA couple, a veteran and his wife, or the veteran may be a woman in some cases, that couple is entitled to $2,288 a month. That is tax-free money that goes right into their pocket to help offset these costs. A veteran, just a veteran alone that needs these type of health services can get $1,980 a month. And then a surviving spouse, which we have many of them, are entitled to over $1,200 a month in income that goes right into their checking account.
Wow,
it's paid directly to them, not to the facilities.
And who is eligible for housebound benefits?
Those are a little more difficult to get. Mm-hmm. It all depends on their medical condition and things like that. But there are a lot of people that are at home that are tethered to oxygen machines, to designated medical equipment. We have a lot of disabled veterans that have other devices that they need, DMEs. Depends on their diagnoses, their health services, the amount of care that they need could qualify for homebound care. Most of the people that qualify are needing more assistance, so they need assisted living and long-term care type benefits. And those can be very expensive. And so this is just one program that can help family members have that assurance that they do have enough money to help offset those costs.
Thank you. Now, what is the service criteria?
The service criteria, any armed service branches, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, National Guard, if they have been called up to active duty service, are eligible to apply for these benefits if they qualify under the years of service that we talked about earlier. So like in the case of World War II, I believe it goes from like 42 to 45, and Korea during that time of war. Vietnam, if they're in country, out of country, can go anywhere from the 60s all the way to 1975. So there are different qualifiers that they need to check into to see if they're eligible.
Okay. Now, is there a difference between assisted living and long-term care communities?
That's a great question. So a lot of people don't realize that, people go to live in facilities, retirement homes, or live independently at home. We call that independent living. Mm-hmm. The next level of care that we offer is called residential care, which is a state-certified health service. That is where they need, maybe you have a dementia patient and they're a little forgetful, so they need more cues and reminders. So they need help remembering things. They need medication management, those type of things. That's what residential care. They're very much independent, but it's more cues and reminders. When they need more assistance, they need help getting in and out of shower. They need help getting up and down out of the bed. They don't transfer, but they do a lot of assistance and medication management, things like that. That's assisted living. They still are semi-independent, but they just need a little help. And then long-term care is when they need more detailed health services that require them to be, 24/7 type care.
Okay. Now, what is financial eligibility?
Financial eligibility, there are some assets requirements on this program. You can still own a house up to a certain amount of money. You can have assets in the bank up to a certain amount of money. And then you also, there's a 3-year look-back period. So if you have created a family trust and your assets are put into that trust prior to the 3-year look-back, then that is one way that can help still preserve the assets that you've saved for your children, but yet maybe qualify for this type of program. It's just a case-by-case basis, so you'll have to work with the DAV to be able to distinguish what those parameters are and what they would qualify for.
Okay. Now tell me about the clinical eligibility.
Clinical eligibility, if they go to residential, assisted living, or long-term care, those are physician-ordered services. So that's when they need more detailed care than being able to live on their own.
Okay. And is senior care considered medical expenses?
That's a good question. There are, that is a really good question. I'm not quite sure that I have all the answer to that one. Medical expenses, are you talking about like tax deductible or things like that?
When I read it here, it says, when applying for aid and attendance, you can deduct the cost of monthly recurring medical expenses from your countable income.
Yeah, those are part of some of the qualifiers, like your medication, your maybe incontinence supplies, all those type of things can be taken off of that as part of the qualifications for your income or your asset management in qualifying for this benefit.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. How are nursing homes eligible?
Well, they're state certified through the Oklahoma Long-Term Care Authority, or they're mandated by the state of Oklahoma. So they go through inspections, surveys, those type things to make sure that they are thinking of this, how to say this correctly. All facilities like ours go through surveys where the state comes in and inspects your facility. And so there are mandates that are required in taking care of residents in all levels of care. And you must meet those levels of care through the state of Oklahoma in order to be certified for those services. And that's what our facilities across Enid do.
All right. Now, are there any exceptions?
To the program where they wouldn't qualify?
Yes.
They could have too many assets. They physically, homebound care may not meet the parameters for homebound care. They may have other pensions and programs that would eliminate or decrease the amount of this benefit that they would receive. So that's going to be another case-by-case benefit when they go in and make those applications. And so the DAV, the Local Disabled American Veterans, they are so good about having processed this paperwork. They're very knowledgeable about all the benefits that they're entitled to. And so I would encourage everybody to go down to the DAV and then ask, what benefits are they eligible for?
So if one wanted to apply, they would go to the DAV to apply.
That's correct. Or they can come out to our facility and we will walk them through the form system, what their application process is, and then let them know you have a doctor's form that has to be filled out. You have a facility form that has to be filled out. You have a general form with information that has to be filled out. You need your DD-214, which are your discharge, I'm sorry, my mask is coming down, your discharge papers. Those type things you will need. We'll gather that information all together and then go down to the DAV and have that all in place so that they can help you efficiently.
Now, can you tell me about the process? How long does the process take?
Sometimes this can be a long process. It could take anywhere from 6 months to a year or maybe longer. That's why we love working with the Disabled American Veterans Group, because they are very good about electronically being able to file these forms and get that done more expediently. And they expedite those for those clients that may have more frail health or maybe more aged.
And what would happen if a veteran who applied for this and died during the application process?
Unfortunately, the benefits stop when the veteran passes away.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Elaine, for sharing all this useful information. I know that there are, like you said, 1/3 of Americans over 65 are either war veterans or spouses of a war vet. So this is very useful information. Now, let's go back to this month of November that you were really busy. Can you enlighten me of what activities are going to be happening for veterans this month?
Absolutely. Would love to. We have coming up the Ride to Remember, which is a ride that goes 100 miles around looking at historical military monuments. And this year we're giving away a motorcycle at the end of that ride, so that's exciting. We also have on Tuesday the 10th a free luncheon at the Railroad Museum that's put on by Retha Jocelyn. And so she is actually cooking and giving away a free lunch. That's from 11:30 to 1. And then on November 11th, Wednesday, is our traditional Veterans Day services. And it starts at 6:30. We have the exciting Kyle Dillingham that's coming to perform, give a sneak peek prior to his concert on Friday night. We also have trumpeter David Hooten, who is a Grammy-nominated musician. And we're going to be showing a video that he made at the Wall of Honor that's been nominated for a Grammy. So we're excited about that. We also have on the 14th the parade. And so we're encouraging everybody to make a float or an entry or something for the Veterans Day Parade to honor our veterans. Lots of things going on right now.
It is really exciting. And Elaine, I just want to thank you for everything that you do for the veterans community, and thank you for taking your time to speak with me during this busy month for you.
Well, thank you for having me. We appreciate it.
Thank you.